So this is me up in a helicopter, and for the record, I am terrified of heights. So this was a really cool experience of a wedding where we got picked up after the ceremony and was taken up into the mountains for some fantastic photo opportunities. I was able to shoot my friend's wedding here, and I was actually quite limited as to what lenses I was able to bring just because of the weight restrictions on the helicopter. And of course, you don't want to be toting a bunch of stuff around with you all day because, as you probably know, weddings can be quite long, and yeah, the less gear the better. So today I thought I'd give you some recommendations of some wedding lenses that you should be considering. So let's jump right in. If there was one lens, just one lens that was all I could bring, I didn't have a bag, I didn't have any other option, it would hands down be this guy, the Tamron 35-150 f2 to 2.8, just strictly for its versatility. A fast f2 at 35mm means you can get a very beautiful out of focus backgrounds and a shallow depth of field that you're typically looking for with a lot of wedding photos. And you can actually zoom into 150 and still maintain a fast f2.8 for beautiful portraits and whatnot. If there was one lens, I think that would be it. It's just, it kind of does everything, and it does it really, really well. What would you choose? Would you go for something like a 24-70? Well, for me, just because of the fast aperture and the versatility and the focal range, that's definitely the one that I'd pick. It does come at a price like anything, but it's got the great Tamron warranty, and I have shot pretty much everything with this lens. I can wholeheartedly recommend it to you. So a bit more footage here from the helicopter ride, and it was tight in there, but I wanted to be able to kind of capture what I was seeing. So I chose to take the Tamron 20-40, again, for its versatility and its compact size and weight. Now this is a great performing lens. It's incredibly sharp where it needs to be. The weight is almost non-existent, so it's not a burden to throw it into a bag or even your pocket and have it when you need it.
I personally really like this lens. It fits with my style of documentary or environmental portrait style wedding shooting. It helps me capture the realism of the day, which for me is really important. I know the autofocus is going to be fast and accurate. It's great for photos and videos, and it'll be a great pick if you're into landscape or street photography as well. Now, coming in around $699 US, it's the cheapest lens on this list and definitely worth a second look if you ask me. If you want more information, check out my full in-depth review on every lens in this video.
I wanted to also give a shout out to the new Sony 70-200 f4 Macro Mark II. Now this thing, I bet you a lot of people are gonna underestimate this lens. This lens is insanely sharp, crazy sharp, basically prime level sharp, but with macro capabilities, which is fantastic when it comes to shooting weddings. You want to get in there and shoot the details, whether it's a dress or a ring or flowers or something on the table. It's great to have the macro option. So rather than taking something like this 90mm macro here from Sony, which I do love, and I would love to take that to a wedding just in case, having that 70-200 where you can also get some beautiful photos all around, some great compression, great portraits, that macro capability is just fantastic. Having that minimum focus distance that's just so close makes that lens just so versatile. And the sharpness is absolutely mind-blowing. So depending on if you are shooting in a darker or a lighter environment, you maybe might need something faster like an f2.8 or a 1.8, depending on if you're shooting at night. Do keep that in mind. But the 70-200 f4 macro is just a marvel and should not be overlooked. Speaking of macro, the 90mm macro is one of my favorite lenses of all time. Image stabilized, incredible sharpness. So for me anyways, it's important to have something where I can really get in and shoot the details, whether it's a macro lens or, like a lot of lenses these days, something with just a great minimum focus distance and decent magnification ratios. Other than that, it's really nice to have at least one really fast prime if you ask me. The Sony 50-1.2 is an absolute gem, but we've also got things like the Samyang or the G Master 135 f1.8 that produces just some amazing images. Now this is going to be great for a couple photos and just really capturing the moment and really getting that separation that you're looking for when it comes to intimate wedding photos. An 85mm is also a great focal length, and there are a ton of great 85 options available.
An 85mm might work well when you don't quite have the room for a 135mm. Indoors I find it a little bit easier to shoot with, and it's just a beautiful focal length for weddings, for portraits, for just about everything. Like I said, there's a ton of 85mm to choose from out there, from the native Sonys to Viltrox, Samyang, and Sigma. There's no shortage.
Really, the sky's the limit. We are just spoiled when it comes to lens choices these days. So if you're wondering what I shoot at a wedding, well, there's some of the lenses that I might tag along with me, and I'm lucky enough to get a lot of lenses coming through. So I am always able to try new things, but those for sure are the lenses, the staples that kind of stick with me and have stood the test of time that I could completely recommend to you. If this video helped you out, guys, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, join the community. Let me know down in the comments what you shoot if you are shooting at weddings, and what you can't live without. If you did want to pick any of these lenses up, I'll drop affiliate links down below. And like always, make mistakes, be yourself, and get out there and take some more pictures. See you next time.